Let's welcome to the stage Oscar Sagastume.
Yeah. I was the last. That was why I was giant.
Oh, he's so tall.
I am so tall. I'm the tallest person in my family. My oldest nephew is actually getting as tall as me, so I got him hooked on his cigarettes. So I bought him his first pack of cigarettes. It's a joke. She got it. You guys all, I said, you were like, what did he do? It's a joke. I don't do that to kids. Though I did suggest he should pick up smoking. Everything suddenly went white. I had lost the world. Suddenly everything came back and it started coming back into focus, and I realized I was in an alley somewhere. I felt pain in the back of my head, and I reached up and I felt sand and wetness, and I looked down and I saw blood. What I would find out later is that I got hit in the back of the head with a brick. All of a sudden sound started coming back, and I could hear my friends screaming. I was like, wait a minute, weren't we just in a bar? What's going on? Who are those guys? And we're being mugged. We're being mugged. And that's when I remember the weight in my pocket, my jacket pocket. I reach down and I feel it. It's the gun. And I realized that I could end all this right now, and I could be a hero. But it's not a real gun. It's a starter pistol. See, at the time, I was stage managing a production of the American classic Steel Magnolias. And I was in charge of the pistol because I had a pyro license. So I had the gun in my pocket. Not because I was supposed to take it home, it's because I was an idiot. And I would always leave it in my pocket, a loaded gun. Now, I don't know how many of you have ever seen a starter pistol. It looks like a gun. You know what I mean? It's a solid piece of metal. There's a barrel on it, right? But it's just a solid pipe. And then there's like a revolver, a chamber, you know? You can load up 6 blanks in it and a trigger. Like I said, it looks like a gun. And it sounds like a gun, and it goes off, and it's very bright, and it's very scary. So here I am in the alley, trying to decide what to do. I don't have a lot of time. I don't have my faculties, but I think maybe they're far enough away that I could maybe scare the guys away from there. There's 2 of them, and they're attacking my friends. So I stand up, reach into my pocket, pull out the gun, bring it up to bear. I take a deep breath, and I say, hey, get away from them. Everybody freezes, and the muggers realize that I'm pointing a gun at them. And they look at me, and I'm shaking. Part of it is the concussion that I obviously have. Other is I'm scared shitless. So I'm shaking, and I'm holding it, and the mugger stands for a second, and now before I start talking to him, I have had an accent for this, but it's extremely racist when I do the accent, so there will be no accent this evening. But I'm holding it again. He looks at me, and he says, oh, you're not going to use that gun, fatty. Now, guys, hit me in the back of the head, mug me, but call me fat. Is that necessary? You know, and it's unoriginal too, right? Anyways, he looks at me and says, you're not going to use that, fatty. And I say, stand back, get away from us. And he smiles, and he takes a step forward. And I realize at that moment that it's not going to be over quickly. And I'm also terrified because I realize if he gets any closer, he's going to see that it's a gun. I mean, it's a dark alley, and I'm probably getting away with what looks like a real gun. But as soon as he gets close enough, he'll see that it's a fake gun, and he'll take the gun out of my hand, and he will beat the living shit out of me. So he says again, goes, oh, you're not going to do nothing. I'm going to take that from you. Takes another step, and I make the mistake of taking a step back. You know? And he says, you're definitely not going to use this. And he gets closer to me, and I'm screaming, leave this alone. Just go away. And then he pulls up his pants. Now, the reason this is important is because if you lived in a bad neighborhood with a bunch of hoodlums, everyone's pants are drooping, so when you pull up the pants, that means you're about to run at me, right? This is something that's in the ghetto, you know. The pretty white girl in front knows what I'm talking about. And so he starts toward me, and I freak out. And I do the only thing that I can do is I pull the trigger right at him. And he's about as close as you are to me at this point, right? You know, bang, 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 6 times. Let's just go 6. Bang, and he freezes. Like I said, it's a dark alley. The gun is loud, and it's bright, and everyone is, again, frozen in terror. And I realize I'm completely fucked. My friends are fucked because he was close enough to know that I couldn't have missed. And he's obviously not dead. But he doesn't move. And I'm sitting there, and I'm staring at him, and I'm like, what's going on? And that's when I hear this noise. That is also when we all smelled it. Because he shit his pants from fear. And then his buddy, the other mugger, was like, dude, did you shit your pants? And then they ran off. And I don't really remember what happened next, but I did pass out. I woke up in the hospital, handcuffed to a bed. Cop comes in and explains that I'm in custody, and that a detective will be with me shortly to discuss sort of what happened, And I'm freaking out because I'm like, what am I? It wasn't a real gun, I mean, I'm a hero, right? I'm a hero. Then I started freaking out, like as most comedians do. I started freaking out because I thought, did he shit himself to death? Is that even possible? And then the detective comes in, and he asks, he tells me that I'm in custody for discharging a weapon. It's really I'm not gonna get into the whole thing there, but I'm arrested. So he hears my side of the story and I explain what happened. And he's writing his notes. He's one of those he's an LA cop. He's kind of a big guy, and he's got suspenders on. I always remember he's got suspenders on. And he leans back and he closes his eyes and he goes, "Boy, you are the dumbest motherfucker. You should have just let them take your money." And eventually they dropped the charges and everything was fine. But my friends always give me shit for that night. Thank you guys so much.